Hi everyone, I'm back with a book that I finished reading recently and loved. It's called Breath by James Nestor. I have a copy of it here, and you can see it says on the cover, The New Science of a Lost Art. Now, I found this book incredibly interesting and insightful. Nestor has packed it with the latest research on breathing. He talks about pranayama, about yoga, about people who've cured themselves of various ailments by changing the way they breathe. Now, breathing is something which is supposed to be natural to us. We take 25,000 breaths on an average every day. And yet, Nestor says most of us are not breathing properly. He says this is because of evolution. As we've evolved, our skulls and nasal cavities have become smaller, leading to respiratory problems. While we can't change that, we can make subtle changes in our breathing to improve our health. And there are two that he recommends. The first, he says, when it comes to breathing, shut your mouth. Breathe only from your nose. In fact, he put himself up for an experiment at Stanford where for 10 days his nasal cavity was plugged and he could breathe only from his mouth, and certain parameters were measured. His blood pressure increased 13 points, his heart rate variability plummeted, putting him in a state of hypertension. When he was allowed to breathe from his nose, things went back to normal. Scientists say this is because our noses act as filters. They warm the air, they moisten the air. The second thing he says is that we need to breathe less. And what he means by this is we need to breathe slower, softer, have longer exhalations, and increase the pauses between exhales and exhales. And he talks about the ancient yogis from India and the pranayama techniques. And the pranayama techniques actually achieve that. While he speaks about many, there are two he mentions in particular: Ujjayi, where you make a hoarse sound at the back of the throat while breathing, and Brahmari, where you make a humming noise. And Brahmari in particular is known to increase the nitric oxide levels, which is antibacterial, and it's a neurotransmitter and helps us to relax. He also quotes the great yoga master BKS Iyengar, who said that the life of a yogi is not measured by the number of days, but by the number of breaths. I found this fascinating. Nestor also talks about a study done by a university in Italy where 24 people were given different prayers to read. So some were given a Buddhist mantra to recite and some the prayer of Ave Maria. At the end of it, when scientists measured their breathing pattern, they found that all of them were taking 5.5 breaths per minute. And what is fascinating about this is, as per science, this is the optimum level of breathing. An inhale of 5.5 seconds, an exhale of 5.5 seconds, which comes to 5.5 breaths per minute. And this is the same as a Hindu prayer as well. So the ancient mystics actually made the prayers which went in rhythm with the breathing pattern, and this breathing pattern increases the blood flow to the brain and calms us down. So I love this book. There are certain changes I've made to my breathing. When I exercise, I breathe only from my nose. In fact, I'm trying to breathe from my nose all the time. I'm also pausing more during the day and observing my breath. I've started pranayama, and I hope that you would pick up this book. And I promise you, if you do, you will not breathe the same again. Thank you. Until next time.